Hello there, this is Victor Santana with StockHunters.com for Wednesday, August 31st. Okay, let's get right at the markets. Here we're looking at the U.S. total markets, ticker symbol TMW, looking at a daily chart going back 3 months. And here, as you can see, this is today's action right up here. This little doji candlestick formation right here. We're above the 8-day moving average. However, we are under the 100 and the 50, where the red is above the green, so this is bearish. Looking at our trend indicators here, the RSI, you can see we are now in the overbought area here, so there's a lot of caution as far as looking for any pullback, because we can get one. And looking at the MACD, you can see the trend is up. We are above this zero line here, and the histogram, these little bars, are green. However, they are becoming smaller, so the momentum is weakening. Okay, so we'll just have to be careful here. As mentioned yesterday, I was considering selling some of my longs here, which I did on the majority of them within the first 10 minutes of the trading, which turned out to be a good idea, and I'll go over that shortly. Okay, so basically pretty much all the markets kind of similar. Total market may get up to this range. We may get a pullback or a sideways movement next couple of days maybe before pulling up higher, but we'll let the trend lead us to our next position. So let's look at each of the indices real quick here. We're going to go look at the Dow right now. As you can see, I also had a little doji, smaller candle formation as it goes higher. So as they become smaller, the little body of the candle, that's showing that it is possibly getting near the end of the trend. And RSI is also above the 70 several days now, and the MACD, the trend is still up. We're above the zero line, and the momentum of these bars here are slowly becoming smaller. We may have the possibility just trading sideways or pull back, and then later on probably reach up to our 50-day moving average. Let's look at the S&P 500. And this one here, you could see we did touch the 50 moving average here, pulled back here, so this may have already fulfilled its job here. So now it's we're having a shooting star formation, which usually occurs at the top of a movement. So this is one of the main reasons I've considered getting out this morning. And here we have over the 70, we're over bought, but the MACD still continues up with the above the zero line with the green bars above the momentum. Now let's look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq here also pulled back, red candle, spinning top, also looked like it has accomplished its mission of reaching to the 50-day moving average. We are RSI overbought, and the MACD above the zero. So we may get the pullback here, causing the MACD to turn over a little bit down, but maintain over the zero line. Pretty much something similar like this. Maybe not quite so high, but with the same effect here as well. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. And then let's look at the small caps. The Russell's 2000, pretty much the same thing. Red candle, spinning top. This still has a long way to get up there. If it does get up there, we'll have to wait and see. RSI is already pointing downward above. That's above the 70, so it's maybe getting a little tired. So we'll see how the action goes here. However, the trend line is above the zero, which is good. MACD having the histogram bars which is momentum, but the momentum's slowing down now. Okay, now let's look at how the global stocks are faring. And as you can see, they got the gap up. They got a small little star, a doji right up here. Black one almost looks like it's just barely reaching over the 70. Actually, it's reading 70.7. So just touching it, you might say. May trade a little bit higher, maybe, or it could be pulling back. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we are above the MACD, so we're still kind of a little looking for more upside a little later on. Okay, so that's pretty much how each of the indices are. So now let's go ahead and look at the our watch list here. I have two new ones here. One is SDS, which is ultra short the S&P 500, since this is the inverse of the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 drops, this will go up, and then vice versa. So S&P goes up, this will drop. So now, since we may be near the end of the trend, we are now going to try to start shorting the market, and this is one of the ETFs to short. Consider getting in at 22.90. Put a sell stop at 21.70, which is approximately 5.2% risk from here to here. The potential of getting all the way up to here, maybe 24.16 on the short term here, while we get that possibly that small pullback here. RSI is overbought, oversold down in here, as you can see, and the MACD is below the zero line, and the trend is down, but the momentum is now starting to reverse. Okay, by putting this in here, we are kind of getting ahead. We usually like to see the first green bar to consider getting in. So we are just kind of anticipating this kind of. So you could either just wait out another day, or try to just get in at the early part. So with a small risk, 5.2. Again, keep all your position sizes half at this point of the market cycle. Okay. Another one that recommending is to go long LFC. This is China Life Insurance Company, and as you can see, we put an entry or a buy at 38.31, sell stop at 35.86, approximately 6.4% of risk. The RSI has gone through the oversold, now it's popping above, and we do have the momentum on the MACD, these little two green bars, and the trend looks like it's starting to move upward. And the best thing about it, we have a divergence, meaning that this bottom here and this bottom here is the opposite. This is a lower low, and this is having a higher low at this end compared to this end. So as prices go down, this momentum's going up. So we may have the divergence to get a pop up. How far can we go? We have a possibility heading up to $41, or maybe even up to 44. It just depends on how much the trend is with the overseas next week. So this is a new swing trade idea. Hopefully you'll like it. And our current positions here is we still have EGO still heading upward, and we have our AH RAL Corp holding still forming upward, which is nice. Note that we're oversold, but it is above on the trend here, as you can see, the 50 and the 100. So that's why we are confident that this next pullback may just pull back down here to this bottom here before heading up, if it does that. And we have TRH, Transatlantic Holding, also continues to go up higher. Again, look at the trend lines. So these are the major trends. still slightly pointing up. The RSI, it hasn't quite reached over the 70, so it may have a possibility of going higher. MACD heading up higher. Now let's look at what we what we have pending as far as for order is this one here, PVA, Penn Virginia Corp. And this one here hasn't triggered us in yet, even though it does look like it popped up, but it hasn't got me in, and so I have the setup still here with our stop here, 13%, and we have the divergence. So we are looking for this to be a favorable upward. As you can see, it traded up, now it's trading sideways, which is usually a good sign for a breakout to the upside, if it can happen. And all the other ones here, as recommended to exit the next day. So this one here, we exited up right above here, just made a small little gain here, not too bad. Herbalife, HLF. This one, I wasn't personally in this one, but this was one of the recommended ones. You would have been getting out good. You got in right here at this area, so this was nice. Humana, another recommendation here. This one was one of the nicer ones here. Wish I had placed an order for it, but it was just a recommendation. But there'll be plenty more. This one, next one, Jazz. This I actually was in and got out, which is very good. This was a nice 15% move. LULU, this one also was a nice move here, positive. MasterCard here was also a nice move. MFN, this one is still a little lower than the entry, seems like. So if you would have gotten out, it would have been a small little tiny loss, or just still hanging in there and not be triggered out. But I will consider this as closing the position. Okay, PRGO. This one also was closed. We entered it right here in this candle here. We closed way up here in this area. And this one I don't recall what the percentage is. Check here. We go down here to approximately entry. We're looking at about 5.8%. PVN, that one's still pending to be triggered in. And SLV, silver, this one here is still trading sideways here. It may have been triggered in, so just hanging in there, or consider getting out for the moment. Okay, so if you consider getting out here with a small loss, and the other one, that would be 2 losses out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positions. So that's not a bad ratio. So we'll continue on looking for new ideas, and keep your eyes on the market. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.